Hey,
Hi, good morning.
morning. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Let me run real quick and grab something. I'll be right back.
Oh, go ahead. Absolutely.
I was talking to my daughter just a few minutes ago. She's out
Mm-hmm.
west.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to speak to her much. So,
Right. That's good. That's real good. Okay. Well, let's jump in,
yeah,
set this up for us to look
awesome.
over.
And I'm gonna go ahead and send that detail to you.
Okay.
So
Fine.
let me do that now.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let me go ahead and get that done while you're working on that. Let me know if I'm backing up here a little bit. Okay, so I'm inside of your Infusionsoft account, and I'm in the campaign section. Are you able to see that screen okay?
Yep, I can see it.
Good deal. All right. All right. Well, what I was going to do, or what I did is in your health awareness fairs sign up campaign. So I'm going to go inside there,
Hmm.
and I'll show you what I did to kind of give you an idea of, what you had set up, and then what I determined would make the most sense to make sure that whenever you're with the form, it had a couple of options in it.
Right.
All right, so give it a second. I noticed earlier it was doing the same thing where it was circling. Okay, great, it's up now. All right. Um, Originally, in your campaign, you had your web form submitted. Great. You had the schedule button, which
You
right
know,
here at the
the web form I wasn't happy with. I was trying to figure out how to make it pretty. I can't
okay.
remember what I did with it. Because it just, I don't know if it was my computer that is not responding properly, but
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to put like, put pretty images. I can't remember what I did in it because it's been so a while. Could you click on that so I can see
Sure. Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. Let's go inside of it. Yeah, I mean it's pretty,
Okay.
pretty
I
basic. You got your image at the top, your fields, and your submit button. I mean, you can make it nicer if you want. That's well, you can do that. And you've got different things you could do. They've got the layout and style button over here. Of course, that's part of the. All right, there we
yeah,
go.
I wasn't sure how to well I mean usually you can pick up things quick, but this was difficult. Like trying to get I think it may have been my computer too. They have an old computer and it's not as fast or something.
Uh huh.
Because like even like changing the verbiage, like I give Maria Campos permission, like even getting in there was difficult. Like it wouldn't let me edit it, and maybe it was the server not working that day.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sure.
so,
Okay.
but yeah, so yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That's fine for now.
Yeah, it is. And then as you're playing with them more and more, you'll say, "Oh, well, I kind of like having some color on the background
Yeah,
of the form." And there it's um, obviously some of your other platforms may have their own templates, and you can actually create your templates. Obviously, if, you saw that within and you go back into your main navigation, it gives you legacy forms and things like that you can work with. So you can create them all, and then you're able to actually pull them in whenever, you know, like over here under style. Once you've created a template, it will show up over here under styles, and then you can just always, you know, drag it over and select that one, and, you know, format it with your text or whatever, and you've got them right here. They'll be under styles. Okay?
So when you're using a component in this, you have to drag and place it over. It's not just clicking, you have to drag and pull over.
Actually, I think you can just select it, and then it'll pop up. You don't have to drag it in this case. I was thinking campaigns where you over there and you got your different, you know, decision buttons and things like that. Yeah. So the forms are just you select, and then it pops up, and then you edit it from there.
Right.
Yep. And then
before
go
we
ahead.
go on though, could you remind me where do I send that? Is it at, to PayPal? Is it Athlia?
Aletha at Aletha D. McManama. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just sent it to that. Okay, let me just.
Okay.
I don't want to forget that. Okay.
Good deal. Okay. So let me know when you're ready, and we'll switch back over.
Okay, I just want to get that out of the way.
All right.
Because I have a great memory.
I understand.
Yeah, because it's gonna bug me, and I can't focus unless I get this done. So let me just do that now.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So, and I'm just gonna do it as friends and family.
Okay.
And that's 50.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Sending to a friend. Okay. Right. Next. All right. You're all set.
Good deal. All right. Okay. Well, let me back up out of the form here.
Okay.
Yeah. And just show you the additions I made to your campaign. So, web form submitted. Here's your schedule button that you created. Well, you had your schedule now piece right here from, and then your schedule, and then you had your email confirmation. All right, so all of that was what you originally created. Based on, let me go back in the web form, and I'll show you what I did there. You really can't see anything from, you know, from the look of it, but there's a couple of things I did to it. Right here, where you have these radio buttons, I give Maria Campos permission, and please send me the app. All right. I selected, by selecting this particular one, it pops up. There's your label. You got your, you know, form. You can pre-check it, or required, on and off, and stuff like that. Right here,
Put a tag. Yeah.
place a tag, and the tags I created, and I'll just open it up and show it to you. It's a prospect tag, and I named it ACKLPC. All right, just to kind of, you know, if you want to start some sort of naming convention so that you'll know what they mean. ACKL is action click, and then the PC is permission to contact. That's what that means. Okay. So I applied that tag to this field so that whenever somebody selects it, then they will, then you know these are the ones that you have permission to contact, right? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna back out of here, and then I did the same with this one. This one, please send me the app. I may have hit it too quickly. Let's try that
I'm
again.
thinking about getting rid of that app so that I can get that other scheduling
Okay.
tool that you had mentioned before.
Right, right. Good. That's good. All right. Well, here I also applied the tag. This one's called ACKLSA, which means action click send app. SA for send app. Okay.
Okay.
So I created that. All right. So now each one of these, you don't have to do it to all the fields.
Yeah.
You just need to do it for anything that you are doing aside from collecting their name and email address. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's all I did really additional. First I went in and added the tags in your tag list. So you'll see the two new ones in there, the ACKL PC, and then the other one SA. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna back out of the form, and then I'll show you what I did from there. Because you've got two different those little tick buttons right there, the radio buttons that were ticked. There's a decision to be made, because you either want to, if they just select, you have permission to contact me, and then they didn't select the other one, then there's a, if then or and or decision to make. All right. And right here, if you'll notice, there's this little diamond. It's called a decision diamond.
Mm.
You will not find it over here in your goals list to drag over. This little diamond will show up, and let me just do a little demonstration of how this shows up for you. I'm going to do almost like a different, I'm going to do, let me just show you. Okay, so if I do the web form, and I'll remove all this. This is just to, show you what I'm doing. Okay, so here's the web form. And then you want to send them this, we put them up with a sequence after they've completed the web form, so we'll drag that down here too. Not ready to connect it yet. And then you want them to go to whatever sequence that is. Well, I'm going to bring another one down here because this is going to be an and or. So you've got two decisions here. You want them to send them here because they've selected one of the buttons on the web form. Okay. All right. So what happens is you can you just connect this form to the sequence. All right. But you also connect it to this one as well. All right. So what happens when you do? Well, hold on a second. Okay. Try that again. All right. We got that one. And then you've got this one. All right. See what happens when you place an arrow? It creates that little decision diamond. Now, when you open up the diamond, because you'll need to, add a couple of things in there to, make it understand what you just did. All right. When you're in there, this rules for, well, it says untitled because we didn't add a title to the web form. So now it's, it's saying untitled. And you can name it whatever you want to. That way you can identify which one of these, that you're working with. You add a rule. And what's really neat about this is it's not like you have to sit there and think about, well, what did I want to, what was the decisions I wanted to make? Well, up here it says, please select. So it gives you some options. So you click select and you click contacts. And then the next thing it asks you is select again. So you select, and then you've got the contact fields. Well, this is a generic web form, so it doesn't have any of those radio buttons in it. Let me do this so that it makes better sense. All right. I'm just going to do this here, duplicate, bring this down, connect it to this one, connect it to this one. All right. Now when I open up the decision diamond, it's going to give me more specifics. All right, so I'm going to add a rule, select. See there it says form submissions, because now you'll be able to specify what was on the form. So if I click form submissions, the next thing it's going to bring up is a drop down for an option, and then you'll select, look at there, it says I give Maria Campos permission to contact me, or please send me the app. So I'm going to select this one. All right. Now, if they select both radio buttons, then guess what? Then you'll need to make sure both of these have, this particular decision has both, you know, that they've selected both. So guess what? You need to add it. And then you'll do the same thing again. Form submission, option, and then please send me the app. Okay? And that's all you have to do for the one decision. Now, if they only want, okay, down here is going to be the or. So you've done the first one. Now you need to know, okay, what's, you know, if they decide they don't want the app, what do we do? Well, then down here, form submission again, the option, and then this one will just be give me permission to contact me. All right, so you see how I did that? Here's both, and then if they just wanted the one, then you provide them, you know, just, you know, then they just want to be contacted and they don't want the app. So, all right, I don't have to do any saving because it automatically saves. When I go back, right there, you'll see, let me just double click and make sure, I'm pretty sure it took, yeah, okay. All right, so let me back up. Okay. It didn't turn the little light green because nothing's been done with the sequences, and that's why. All right. And if you want it to look nice, you can do this. You can just bring this up so it's kind of, you know, consistent with, there you go. So, you know, just the spacing looks consistent. And then if you want to type a bunch of stuff underneath as to what it is, then you've got a little more space to work with like I did up here. Okay. All right. So from there, you're going to, you know, just like you have here, you have schedule, and you'll add that to both of these. You just, you know, I'll just copy. Bring it down, connect it. That was a little crazy. And then you can also, you know, if you've ever, another thing that you can do is whenever you're, you know, you got, you know, this line here in the schedule is if you push down your shift button and then select this little schedule button here, I think it was going to do that. Did it do that? No. Okay. Sometimes you can, you know, you can take and take your cursor and then just click and hold it down, and you can, you know, actually go, you see what I'm doing here is that you can actually select a piece of it, and you'll notice everything has been selected when you did that, and you can duplicate it by just, you can right click and it'll duplicate the whole thing. Okay, just wanted to show you that in case you ever, you know, wanted.
I'm seeing what you're doing now. This is really awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because there's a if and, you know, there's if and then here in this.
What I need to do is to know the rules of how the flow should go. I know this is not exactly how I would want it. Whether they want the Droply app or not, I'm probably going to get rid of it. What I want it to be is if they don't, after they get their initial form, and they, you know, they fill out that thing, you know, they get an email to remind them to schedule if they don't schedule with me. Yep,
exactly. And that's underneath here under your sequence that you've set up, you know, once they've gotten beyond the web form.
Yeah. Right. And so then here they in that schedule now, let me see what's in there. What did they put in?
Sure. Yeah, I'll open it up.
It's been a while. I haven't touched it because I was like, I'm not gonna mess it up.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what I was mistaken as. Like, so a sequence has several things happening in there.
Yes, it is.
Several things. It's not just one thing. So there's the start is the initial email that gets to them.
Yep.
And did I do the sequence right there?
Yeah, you did. So what's happening is, you send them the message, and then if you don't hear from them uh, based on what you've asked in the thank you, let me just open that up so we can refresh your memory on that.
Yeah.
What's in there?
I think I was definitely trying to figure it out and working in there. I'm surprised I did that much.
Yeah, you did a lot. I was like, that's great, what she's already got accomplished. It's just a matter of making sure you've also, applied your tags, which is, always keep that in mind, because when you're doing that, then what's going to happen is all of this will be, in a tag system. So when you bring up the tag, you go, oh, all these people have done this, and then maybe I just need to take this tag and drop
Yes.
it into a new campaign, so you always have something going on with them. It's just,
Yes.
that's part of that nurture term that you keep hearing about.
So
All right.
what is in that button schedule now? What
Okay.
is
You've got it linked. So let's see what you got it linked to. Looks like you've got it linked to the set more link. You do. Yep. That's what's right here on the left, the URL you've
okay.
placed in there.
So I did put the set more. Wow, I did a lot of work.
You did.
Can't remember.
Impressive, right? So, but yeah, if you haven't touched it for a few weeks or whatever, you're like, what did I do? And you come back in here, and sure enough, so you did. You actually, have
I'm
the schedule now.
I'm pretty impressed with myself.
Right. So,
I mean, I tell you that I really love learning to work in new softwares and things like that, and then getting to know all the little extras that people usually miss, like to use the heck out of it. That's what I enjoy. I just really didn't have the time to get really familiar as how fast that I wanted to go, because I have so much other things that I have happening right now.
Right.
So this is great. I really want to get the other software. I really want to get the other software you were mentioning, the scheduling, and put that in there instead.
Yep. Okay.
So I guess it'd be an easier thing. Since I have it all set up, I'm just changing the URL here.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So it's up to you. You put that URL in there. That's where it's going to take them. Now,
let me ask you a question. Now, does it already know what hours is already occupied on my calendar, or does it do I have to how does it work?
You mean time trade? Whenever you set that up, if you get yourself an account.
What is it called again?
Time trade. Timetrade.com. Yep.
Yeah.
When you set up the calendar within their platform and you sync it to Google, your Google Calendar, right? That's what you're using. Whenever let me back up. Whenever you're setting up your calendar of availability in Time Trade, you'll also see where it's, you're able to block off time that you won't be available, right? So what happens is all of this will translate over to your Google Calendar, and they'll be able to notice, oh, well, then she's only available for Monday, for example, from 2 to 5 or whatever. It should show as being blocked in your Google Calendar. It'll actually show a section, I think it's grayed out. I know that's what it looks like for an Outlook calendar.
So when somebody schedules some time and it gets on my calendar, and somebody else comes in after that, it's already synced and they see it.
Exactly. Yes.
And if things are already on the calendar, that's already synced up. It already knows it's available. And I'm blocking up the hours that I only want to schedule appointments. And so it's on that.
Exactly. That's all you're going to see is what available time slots open. But you know, if you're scheduling something over one of your available blocks that they see, they will sync, and then we'll do that block off your the selection. Just so you understand that. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yep.
Somebody can do that. And so I'm trying to give something of value so they can make sure that they spend time with me and taking away the app. Now I have access to a lot of ebooks and things from different, even oils that people put in their cars, basically essential oils. You think that will be enough value if I take away, because I don't want to add in another expense. I'd rather replace it with something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? What do you think about that? Do you think that that people want that rather over an app?
Send them like a sample that you're seeing. So,
You know, about essential oils.
You know what? You're probably
Is my trade you get on an annual basis, or is that monthly?
You can do both, one or the other.
Okay.
Yep, you sure can.
Okay.
I think
I may keep the app if I don't have to do it on month. If I don't have to do monthly, just do it on one shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of you doing a free offer of an ebook because I'm telling you, you may not. I mean, app. You know, you're paying for the app, of course, but so you're giving something free again. Whereas if you gave them something that you created, I don't consider that because you.
It's just more. And I mean, they can make every version of the ebook as well. So you don't have to read copies of it.
That's right. Yeah. I would definitely do it. Okay. Well, that's a good idea right there. All right. You have to see after you create a tag. I see here, I'm looking at going, oh, look at there. Yeah, now I do this because I'm thinking, what tag over there to kind of say, create visit a link. I'm telling you what's going to happen here. And yes, I think a great customer. Yeah, you got a tag there. They've selected that.
I what it is. I wish it was the roles about what email or
sorry, a little bit of activity. If you want to about email and start writing that.
A tag will be added at for the user.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have a very high open rate. My gains, so things are going to be as well.
So that's okay. And that you okay. Point out here because this is where you may have some error. And you just so you don't however, click on the link and shoot it from there. So yeah, click on. I mean, they there may be an instance where they click on it and get called off somewhere, and they lose it. So it's not have to where you'll have to. Okay, or the time rate and there's nothing you can actually do there. The one thing that if they did talk, then it was that if you talk now, okay, I'm saying that this will have to so the tag issued. What I was talking about, they completed or they've visited your calendar.
Let's get some kind of notification every time it happens.
Okay. Okay. And there's a way to do that. Let's see. I can remember that. If not, let me make a note and I'll tell you over all your campaigns, email notifications. That someone has action. Okay, all right. All right. So let's go back here. So we got this. What these days and on day. That's where they have. And you know, they can then create this task at the end, which is I'm opening this up really quick. It reminds you to call them. So if they haven't everything within, what do we have? 5 days? Yes, you get about a week, and then you contact them directly. So all right. So right in here somewhere is it right here? This email. They've scheduled. So we're going to need to make a a trigger that they've planned it on that schedule button that tag applies. Okay, they're done. Then that's the next thing that leave after is. Let's see. Hold here. I tag. The tag's already there. All right. So then stop reminder messages.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's important. So I'm gonna go back in here after we talk, and then there's one little loop there that I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to spend all of our time trying to figure that out. So what I'll do after we get off the phone is I'll go back in there and then I'll add a piece because it goes to be here. There's gonna be right here tag visited, and then you stop from there on. So but it's that extra piece that I'm gonna put right down below the email, and I'm just trying to remember. There was one other step there, so let me do a little dig research on it, and then I'll do it, and then I'll send you a screenshot of what I did, or just a little mini video, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay? Because that's where you want them to stop, and then they won't get any more annoying emails from you if they've scheduled. Yeah.
I don't want that. Yeah.
Right, you do not want that, so we're going to make that happen too.
So I have a quick question for you because I know that I've had another CRM that did this for me, but sometimes I upload when I'm uploading contacts, there will be duplicates. Does this? I think I've seen it before where you have to go in order and do it manually, like click a button so that they can get rid of the duplicates that's there. Right?
Or you can merge contacts. So if you go into and I'll let me just finish up here and then I'll show you how to do that.
And the other was if you have more than one people. Actually, I saw that the other day where I had like duplicates on a campaign and it just fixed it, like so it doesn't go twice.
Yep.
In person. It kind of has all that covered already.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Nope, you're right. You got it. That's true. But if you're in there and I'm work with a couple of accounts, one of them being like over 2,000 customers, and we're talking big businesses big franchises.
Yeah.
And you got duplicates in there. You got to merge them. All of that can be done because what I really like about Infusionsoft is you can select a number of contacts obviously when you're doing a search or whatever, and you can select them, and then you got all this long list of actions that you can,
Yeah. I played around with that.
Yeah.
Kind of group, like bulk.
Bulk changes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So yeah, if somebody's got 10 people under one company and the address is changed, you can change it on the company record, but then you can select the rest of them and just make sure that you update the address in their individual contacts too. That's what's really cool about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you a question about the landing. Okay, go ahead. Let's finish this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish what I did here. So that there definitely needs to be one little addition to this sequence right here, and then of course the same here, because these are branched off based on the they're either going to get permission to contact or both, or just permission to contact only. So, and then we did the schedule, which was we just looked at. Well, no, let me back up. So we applied a tag, and then that's fine.
How did you do that?
Well, so you did this yourself. I see it's just a tag. You do apply a schedule tag. Let me back up. Let me open it back up again. We don't necessarily need this step, because what happened is we could actually use the tag over here when they click on the button to schedule. So this can be merged into this sequence right here. So I can do that. Okay, this will do the next page is the email confirmations. It's going to get that. If not, then we're done right here. Merge these, and all you have this right here if all they want is just to be contacted. Okay. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, so this really could be just, integrated in with the sequence here. When I do about the button earlier, when we're looking at, yeah, you can take that same tag and just apply it right here. That was it right there. But I say for the most part, you'd really be setting this up on your own, being fresh to Infusionsoft. Yep. You did good. You did really good. Some people are like, I have no clue.
I did have some guidance. I did look at the videos and stuff,
Good. That's good. And of course, you can always, you've got your help desk. You're paying for this, so you make sure you, take advantage of every bit of support you can get. Did you like a consult? Somebody that's your consultant?
I was supposed to get like 2, and it was weird. The second one, I got on Zoom, and they kind of dropped me off, and it was like a meeting happening at the same time, and they never contacted me. So.
Oh yes, I've heard of Apple too. Yeah. So whatever that button right there is, and then you have one tag over here on the left, and then we can add another one. Let's see. Open that up. Yes, and then that's where you can add it. Action schedule consultation. Boom, right there.
Oh yeah, then you can
yeah. So when I do that, I click done, come back out to the sequence. Okay, great, and then I'm back to the main campaign, and it's right here. You can remove that.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing, and then you just go from. Let me move that over here, and then just connect the two, and there you go. And the same here is I just need to make sure I go in there and do that first. The same thing we just did.
So tags are really critical for this thing.
They are critical, because let me tell you, the tags in there, and once you've established what they've done and you want it to stop, then then that tag is what's going to control that whole situation where
right.
it's like they call it a tag trigger. So once the tag's applied, it triggers something. Whether it's I want to stop sending messages in this case, or I want them to go into another campaign. It's called a tag trigger. If you look it up, in your Infusionsoft help, it'll explain it in more detail. But anytime you want something to happen, beyond just them, completing the form, then that tag's always going to be somewhere in the system. Okay, I'll take this. Okay, great. So you can have to take one tag that's in a campaign and then move into other campaign beyond that, and that's where that nurture comes into play. That's people interested. Everything you're doing in all your campaigns, same thing from one tag. It can be changed to one tag.
I think they changed the reason, because I'm not only doing affairs now, but I'm also going to like gyms. A lot more order and so I guess the health fair. Battery events, yeah, let's go ahead and get something on our calendars.
Absolutely. You can just make the updates, and to change that, you just where was that? Move the windows down. Oh, under actions right here. And you can select your actions drop down, and I think there it is. You can rename rename it to everyone, and then click on that, it brings up your campaign that way.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I don't think I did what I was supposed to do. Add action tag. It's slow.
Also, I find that when I'm sharing my screen, it slows down a lot.
It does. You're right. Do like have Zoom? It's really good to do any. Well, I've used it quite a lot lately with doing meetings and stuff like that. It's really good. All right, we're back here. Schedule now. And actually, add it. None of that. I had it to the second. It already is there. Look, I added it to the top. Just duplicate cells and add it to the second one. That's great. Yeah, you know, that way for me, I would not go and, you know, and I had to go back later. Okay, that's cool. Right now, I've used this. It's all confusing right here. Select this and get rid of that. Was my test campaign. Oh yes, I want that to go away. All right, this can be root. We've applied that tag within the sequence, so it can go away. All right. So down here it says this is welfare tag line. So this actually knows to go ahead and tag, you know, that particular customer that they're all and of course we use the SIP then, and I think what do we have here? See, welfare. If you want to SIP and then which one, then we just make sure you select it. When they want to. But you got it, you know, as a health fair. Okay. All right.
I think one is duplicate this and just scale the drag.
Exactly.
The person needs to be very personable.
I agree. Yeah. Absolutely. Anytime you do a visit, it's going to be, you know, you can tell the candidates there in a minute. Yeah. Okay, then that last piece with the email information, and you just haven't published it yet. This is where it's confirmation for the drop link. Okay. And that's whether you want to keep it or otherwise. Let's go back. You just, you know, you're just with them. Okay.
Can you see the copies?
Oh yeah, sure. Go back in. All right. Yeah, so it's something I saw earlier.
I just want to make sure that I really can't remember what I did.
You got like two. You got the app, and then on the right you've got something else on there.
It's my 45-year-old brain now.
It's coming. There it is. Remember what you got the download button.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
And then you got to get something.
I just didn't know what they're going to get in our meeting.
All right, look, you got a link button. Go to that. There it is. Download it out. Awesome.
Okay.
You did. Okay, just figure out what name, you know, the name is. So okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this way, you see, you just don't have it, you know, set published. It's still in draft form. That's why I'm back up. See that it's still in black on your campaign.
Exactly.
Go back more. Yeah. Awesome. There you go. That's your campaign. I'm gonna add that one little piece associated with not this. Aside here, we need to once to click on the simulation beginning more. You know, the two reminders. Okay. So that's my work to take care of. I'll work on that today. Get out to you. Okay.
Great.
If you have any more questions, be on our call. Don't hesitate to shoot me an email, and I'll just, you know, get you answers.
I haven't done because I'm still, you know, I just go back to what's easy for me right now because I know how to Eventbrite. But
yeah,
so what I want to learn is how to do the it's very simple. The landing page. It's going to set the functionality of the landing page, and it looks like you can like have one landing page and it takes you to another landing page, and it can look like a website. You know what I'm saying?
There's another thing too, is that because you're using Infusion, there is a plugin that will allow you to make it look like the landing page is on your website, and that way it has a domain name of, you know, whatever your, you know, your URL is.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and I'll even send you the link to that.
What I want to do is get connected to my website.
That's it. That's how you do it. It's that plugin, and I'll send you the link to that whenever I send you the that last piece that I need to do in this campaign.
Awesome.
All right, send link.
I have a website. I need to go up and update it, but you know, it's pretty good, and I should be using it more. And I haven't.
Oh, it's really nice. I like it. I saw it when I first looked you up. I said, "Wow, this is awesome. Who did this website?"
I built it.
Did it yourself? I was like, "Dang, that's really nice." I like it. Yeah. Send link to Infusionsoft plugin.
I wanted it to be simple so people could navigate through it and not have any issues.
It's great. It's great. Okay. So that. All right. Any other questions?
I think that's it. I'm just gonna figure out this landing page business.
Yeah. Well, what happens is when you set up the landing page, just like anything, like your web form, you can, anybody that clicks on the pay button, apply a tag to it. And then what happens? Well, here, let me show you something.
Well, most of my classes it's free, and I'm really targeting my current customers right now.
Okay.
To get them reactivated. So
yeah.
So I need to activate that pay form. I haven't activated it. I don't know if it's not an extra fee to do that, right? To activate that pay thing.
Oh, you mean for your cart for Infusionsoft? Shouldn't be. No. I'll tell you what. Let's check it out, because you should already have it in here. You know, let me just make sure I didn't be on the campaigns section. I didn't dig into your account. You know, I did what you know what area I was working in. But let's see here. You've got e-commerce. Oh yeah. Payment setup settings. Let's go to settings real quick, and I'll show you.
This is really awesome. Like it's a very powerful tool. I just need to sit down one day and play with it.
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know, I'm not at a point where I can use it myself because I don't have like a, you know, large client base, but it has a lot of, you know, the ability to automate a lot of what you're doing that you want to, you know, stay in touch with your prospects and clients, you know.
Yes.
So, product order settings, merchant account, whoever you want to use to connect with the cart, that's important.
Right.
I'm selecting that so I can show you real quick. We've got, you know, about 5 or so more minutes anyway, so we'll give you a chance to, yeah. Look, they allow you to pay PayPal, which is great. There's other ones that you can use. I know I've got 1 or 2 clients that uses Stripe, because I know PayPal and Stripe are pretty popular these days. Whenever, you know, you're using not only you know, you've got the different, you know, sliders that you can use with your phone or iPad and stuff like that for payments. So those are 2 very good payment processors. Let's see, let's go back. E-commerce, payment setup, products, and orders. Okay, so we go to products real quick. And then you can add a product.
Oh, I see.
I'm just going to click on the button, and you name it, and then call it whatever you want it, product or digital. Yep, either one. And then of course, and this is just for paid stuff. Obviously, if you're doing like a free download, you're just going to use the web forms. You know, for a landing page.
We don't really have too many things that we charge for.
Yeah.
You know, just very few. But
yeah
we should still do it anyway.
Yeah. So set yourself up. Absolutely. If you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna have like a sales page, and you want, you know, and remember, you know, when you're setting up a sales page, you got to have follow-up, and that's where you're going to set up the whole campaign, because you know within your campaigns there's a place there that you actually drag and drop down landing page, and then that's where you'll build it, and from there you can build it, and then it'll connect to your website, and you have the pay button, and then a cart piece comes up. All of that's it's
could you before we have like a few minutes show me, like, because I haven't opened up the landing page yet. And
yeah, sure. Yeah, because I was just looking at somebody else's earlier, and how that all works. So let me show you how that. I'm just going to go back into this right here.
So when you have a campaign, like in that first page there, could I click in it and then duplicate it and then go in there and then make the changes from that?
You sure can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're back here. Look over here where you have your goals landing page right here. So you bring that over, open it up.
So what's the difference between landing page submitted and landing page?
Oh, actually, you're right. I hit the wrong one. Thanks for pointing that out. Oops. I think this one, the difference between the two is that this one, maybe they've already jumped on it, and then you want to go from there, I think. So that might have something to do with the campaign, setting it up. I'll have to look and see what that means, the difference between the two. But I'm thinking it may have something to do with, you know, they've already visited it, and now you're just wanting to, you know, build a campaign, you know, from that. But I think you could do it from here too. All right, so this is your landing page editor window, and it's going to, you've got to go like through 2 steps before you get to the design window.
So could a landing page possibly act like an additional page on your website? It's
probably not going to look the same, because your website has the theme that you're using for your, you know, for your web pages. It's not going to look the exact same. No, it's going to be different. Yep. I mean, you can try and duplicate it as close as possible. You can probably be putting in a lot of work, and you might get frustrated, because this is the different templates that they have. They've got webinar, ebook, lead, and let's see. This is their new landing, and then they've got a little video you can watch. All right, gives you a tutorial on how to use it. All right, that's not bad. But yeah, they've got some templates already in here that you can, or use one from scratch. I'm going to select the one from scratch. And then from there, you just go ahead and set it up. Yeah, it's pretty basic. I guess you name your template. You go through and identify your font styles and your brand logo. You can add that.
Okay.
And then the next step down here at the bottom is design your landing page. Doesn't sound like a lot you have to do there. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Oh, it's not going to let me go any further because oh, I don't know. Call it test. Okay. And then design. There you go. Look, it just gives you some options to start with.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and this is, and you would use landing pages for like to promote classes or something like that. Like I would use it. I would use that in place of Eventbrite.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah, because now you've also you set up your products in your cart, and that way you can put that right into your landing page. Because I think it's just a matter of let's see, you got add elements. Look here. Yeah, you got your form, your cart.
Yeah.
All that you can add into it, and then because you've got your products, it should when you go to add put the cart in there, you identify which product, because you'll have all your products already in there, and you just select the one that you've created it in your the product section of your cart. So
what for me would probably be like if somebody wants to get enrolled, it will be a link that will go to my website.
Yep.
My doTERRA website, and it would just come directly to there.
Yeah. So then your button would just be a link to to your site, for them to enroll. Yeah.
So at this one, you have lots of of course, every step you add tags to this one too.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Make sure you do that. So
this landing page is just a one-pager kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
And then and I guess I could use a schedule thing that how do they register? Like, how do I get them to register? You know what I'm saying? How do you register for a class with a landing page?
Okay. Well, what you would do is if it's going to be a paid class, okay, free or paid, either one. If it's going to be free, then you're going to do a web form, like over here. They got web form right here.
Oh yeah.
Collect their information. Yeah. Remember, the web form is going to need to have a campaign behind it, because you want to be able to collect their information and send them the thank you messages and what time the class is, and remember to create your tag so that you can always
send reminder emails of the class.
Exactly. Yep, that's it. Make sure you send the additional emails. If it's a paid one, if it's they're paying for it, then it's going to be a pay button, and it's going to link to one of the products that you set up in your product section of Infusionsoft. And then what happens again is that pay button is going to need to extend into a campaign where they get the thank you messages.
Okay.
Yep.
So I am going to mess around with the campaign. The landing page, and then make a few campaigns now. Do you mind if when I'm done, to take a look at them to see if I did them correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I will. I'll be happy to.
Awesome. Yep. Well, okay. I'm excited to go in here and play around with it.
Absolutely. Get jumping on it. You're paying for it, so make sure you utilize it for every bit it's worth.
Absolutely. I may. What I'm thinking too is I may have you make some generic campaign set up for me. That I can copy and paste and just.
Yeah. Just let me know what you have in mind, and I'll set them up and just send you a proposal or I'll send you a proposal on what which ones you want done, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I have to just figure out what I need. I want to write down the stuff that I need. The next campaign I'm going to do is for my enrollments, for the new enrollments. And then if I have problems with that, I'll let you know, because there's a couple of things that I want to do. So,
okay, good. Yeah. Awesome. That sounds great. All right. Well, then I will take care of sending you two things: the demonstration on how I set up to stop the reminders once somebody clicks on your schedule link, and then I'll send you the link to the WordPress plugin for Infusionsoft. Okay?
WordPress.
Yeah, it's a WordPress plugin for Infusionsoft. That's where it'll allow your landing pages to have the same domain as your website.
Oh, okay. So I don't have WordPress.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
No,
okay.
I used to use WordPress, but I don't use WordPress. I had it for my cake business. This is a whole different thing, so I won't need a plugin for WordPress.
Oh, I don't know if they have one of those. What are you using?
I'm using the what's it called? Three step solutions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
a whole
gotcha.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you can still do a
And
domain.
when you said like templates, like no, I didn't use a template. It does kind of like it's kind of like it's I have my own domain
Okay.
and
Well, you
I
can
kind
actually
of
set
post.
it. Yeah, there's a setting inside of the landing page that you can set it to go to your domain. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
In lieu
Cool.
of the plugin. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, then, thank you. I enjoyed our conversation. I actually recorded this, so I'll send you the recording if you want it, just for just in case you need to
Oh,
reference back to
reminders.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Have a great Friday and have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back in touch.
Thank you. Yeah. And then once I'm done playing around with it, I'll send you a quick email so you can take a look for me.
Will do. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.